So I just had it, and that is not fun. Not fun, guys. It was horrendous. Hi everybody, hello. Before we update you with the latest in our baby vlog, we actually forgot to let you know what the outcome was from when we had our consultation with the fertility doctor and all of the next steps. So before we get into showing you what we got up to, we thought we should probably actually outline it, otherwise it might seem a bit confusing. Isn't that correct, babes?
Yeah, that's correct. So
there was a lot. So basically, following the consultation, the next step was for me to have a HyCoSy test, because I'm the one going first. So that basically is the tubes being checked, which they do by putting in like a dye and flushing it through. So you'll see more about that one, which is mandatory, which is lovely. Thanks so much. So basically it's to check there's no issues that might cause any infertility. So before you inject the sperm, you can know
if there's any blockage.
Yes, exactly.
And the outcome to that was?
No, they can watch and find out. So this is just the next steps we're saying.
And the next step is the nurse planning appointment, which is essentially talking about the logistics of how the insemination is going to work.
Yes. And then other things we have to do is got to have a thyroid test to make sure that I'm all stable.
Bulging eyes, I don't know.
Thanks, babe. Because if not, it can make the pregnancy difficult. I'm also meant to have a chlamydia test, which I still need to do. Got to get a copy of, was it rubella? Got to get a copy of rubella test thingy. Obviously got to start taking supplements and all that jazz, so we've got a lot more of that one. The next stage also is a mandatory counselling session. Other things we'll have to do also bloods before, which just has to be done
3 months.
3 months before, or within the 3 months of like you doing your first round of IUI.
Gotta be fresh blood.
So you can't be like, do it now and then wait half a year to try it. They're going to be checking HIV, hepatitis and stuff like that.
Which is all very important anyway, you know, just in general.
So, another stage is also signing consent forms.
Because we're using donor sperm.
Yeah. And for them to do the treatment on us. So that's something we've got to do still. There you go, guys. Just a few more little steps that we have to follow through before we can even get to our first round of IUI. So there's our little update into the beginning of the vlog. And now we're going to move into the next segment. Oh yeah, we're back. So we're going to talk about the counselling. So we didn't actually film or vlog any of the counselling. Sorry, we forgot. We'd been so busy. So what we didn't realise was that we had to have a mandatory counselling session. Particularly when reading all the stuff about we had to like sign consent forms and whatnot. So back to the counselling. Yeah, so it's mandatory if you're having donor like sperm or eggs. So whilst they offer it to everybody for free if you want it, if you're having donor sperm or eggs, then it is mandatory to have. Which,
I mean, we've known from day dot that we're going to have donor sperm. So we've had many years to, what's the word? Like,
it's not news to us that we are using donor sperm.
We always said we would tell the child from the get-go.
So yeah, while we weren't like against it, we were just, again, it's like another step of like, okay, so we have to have this. Intriguing. The counselling session was good. It didn't really feel like a counselling session as such, it was more information. Tips. Which was handy to have and useful. Really, really lovely counsellor as well.
Very nice.
And I think maybe from our point of view, and I think probably a lot of same-sex couples, is we're going into it knowing we're getting donor sperm. We've known that from the beginning, so there's no real issues around it as such. Obviously some people might have issues, I don't know, but I think it's very different as opposed to like as a straight couple who might find themselves in infertility and then needing to use donor sperm, which is something like never thought would happen. And one of the biggest main criteria for having the counselling session is to talk about talking with the child as to how they're conceived. So it's all about the impact that it might have on the child in finding out that they are like a donor conceived child
later in life, and there's a lot of things that go around that.
So it was really good though, because it basically confirmed to us that what we've already discussed and what we thought is that obviously from like the beginning we're gonna tell our child how they're conceived.
A lovely little story.
You know, we're gonna, and there's loads of nice little books out there as well. So we were told about the Donor Conceived Network, which we'll link below, and they do books for like every family scenario. So highly recommend checking that out. And they also do workshops and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to be looking more into that. So yeah, I just think it was definitely interesting and also also just talking about the implications of how the child obviously might find out about the identity, that's it, the identity of the sperm donor. If you pick
ID release,
and how it necessarily might not actually be until they're 18, they could find out earlier.
But it's things we've talked about in scenarios that we've already discussed.
So that's how that one went. Then after our counselling session was done, we needed to sign a consent form that then the counsellor sends back to the fertility clinic because they need that proof.
We have to have that signed before we can actually
move forward. So that's news to us, so it's letting you guys know.
Done, dusted.
Tick, we have done that one.
Lots of ticks.
So I think the counselling session was before the HyCoSy. So now we will move on to the HyCoSy section. And here's Nalo. Oh baby. Hi lovelies, today is, what day is it babe? Is it the 12th?
Today's the 12th.
Or the 13th?
The 13th. Today's Tuesday,
it's the 13th
of October.
I'm day 12 of my ovulation, that's why I got confused. We're off to our fertility clinic because I'm going to get HyCoSy done, which is checking of the tubes.
Fallopian tubes.
Not going to be very nice, not really going to be very comfortable. I'll update you all how it goes.
To make sure there's no blockage.
We'll tell you about it afterwards because we're running late.
We're off as usual.
Time to head in.
Let's go.
You see Whitney? So I just had it and that is not fun. Not fun, guys. It was horrendous. So sadly Whitney couldn't come in with me, she couldn't even wait in the waiting room, and it kind of does suck. Like I did want her there, I needed her there, but when it was also happening I thought, oh, you can see her face, she doesn't like smell gas. I don't think she could cope seeing me in pain, so maybe it's for the best. Nurse, doctor, absolutely lovely, both female, which I was very thankful for. But basically they do like the ultrasound scan up like transvaginal again, but today it hurt more than it did last time, and I think it might be where I'm at in my cycle. I'm ovulating today. And then they did I asked for a small speculum because as a lesbian I feel I want a small speculum because I never slept with a man, you know. So anyway, but that was obviously my mistake because it turns out I have a freaking hard to get to cervix. So I have a I think it's at an angle but also maybe long, so they tried the small one which bloody hurt. I think they even tried the medium, bloody hurt, and then went for the long and they were like basically like bam, that straight away. So just do long, but I was in a lot of pain. And then they put in the catheter, that's fine, and then they take out the speculum. Yay. And then up goes the transvaginal ultrasound scanner thingy wand again. And then they put in some saline, and then basically they have to like flush it through to make sure that your tube's looking fine. And the good news is everything's looking perfect, textbook apparently. So that's great. I asked, like, double check, like, is this mandatory if you're doing this? And they said yes, because obviously you don't want to like waste money by getting, I guess, any procedures done without checking this. However, and whilst I do agree with it, and I'm glad like to know that my tubes are all good and there's no issues there, it's not like we're a straight couple that's been struggling with fertility for years and this could be the reason why. And then we're like, like, I haven't even ever tried to get pregnant, so I just feel like it should be a choice, I guess. I think it's like if you've been trying to get pregnant, not working, you have to have this done, or if not, it should be your choice if you want to get it done or not. That's just what I think. But anyway, Whitney's gone in, she's getting petrol for me and getting me a Subway. I'm going to see if they do gluten-free bread, but right now I don't really care. I'm putting some food because I've got to take some antibiotics as well. So there you go, it's done. Everything's the next step is nurse planning. Boop, boop. So obviously, as you can see from that, Whitney wasn't allowed to come with me. And you were sad, weren't you, babe?
I was in the car, like...
She did her makeup and everything for nothing.
I hate not being
so
able
cute.
to be there.
It was really gutting that she couldn't come in the room with me. We understand because of COVID, but it's just like a real shame we won't let the partners come in with you because
we're forced to have to go in a clinical setting anyway. We can't do home insemination.
We can't do home insemination, and then they're not letting us be together.
So any kind of, you know, intimate moment.
It's not even intimate. It was just like,
no, not intimate, but
we knew it would be painful, and I don't have you there.
Yeah, there's no support.
And then they wouldn't even let her be in the clinic. She had to go wait in the car, and that's really sad.
Off I went.
She was like, but can't I wait in the waiting room? Not even the waiting room. What was it? The reception. Me? Yeah, I know. Bless you. That was really sad. And
it's awful feeling, what's the word? Useless.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like...
Oh, we know it's affecting everyone.
I know.
We're not the only ones, but it does...
Our heart goes out to any of those affected.
It does suck. And yeah, it was painful, as you saw from what I spoke about it straight afterwards. It was not good, not fun. I don't know actually how you would have coped being there, if I'm honest.
I would have been there for you. I can man up, woman up. I can woman up when need to be.
I think you should be like, stop it!
No.
I'll do it. Give me the speculum.
Yeah.
That step wasn't nice, and I spoke about it in the vlog, but I just think it's unfair that it's mandatory, to be honest, because it was a really horrible experience. One that cost you £500 as well, plus the antibiotics. But that you should choose to go down if you want to go down, I think. If you want to have your tubes checked and you want to do this before you do fertility treatments, then I think fair enough.
It makes sense, like, but it's just the fact that we didn't have a choice.
Never a choice. And personally, I don't think I would have wanted to do it straight away. I probably would have wanted to see if I get pregnant, and if it doesn't work, then maybe like, okay, now let's do the tube test. Straight couples get to try it at home quite a few times before they'd even get that checked. So we're being treated medically infertile, and it's really frustrating.
You're going too deep. There's way more to come on this, y'all. We are frustrated with a lot of injustices that LGBTQ plus families face when expanding their family. So stay tuned for more on this. Like,
I don't know when this is going live, to be fair. This is what might be afterwards. So we had our nurse planning consultation.